Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. My name is Tim, and today is day 0 of the Hot Rod Power Tour. If you're just joining me for the first time, I'm actually going to be taking this 1985 C10 Silverado all along the Power Tour, and it's going to be pretty much the longest distance I've ever driven it. Had it for several years, and she is mean and ugly looking on the outside, nice and rusted, but inside it's all fairly new. Got a Blueprint engine, Chevy 350. Got a Gearstar 700R4 transmission. Together I think I've got about 1,200 miles on the engine and transmission. New cooling system, new brake system. The only thing that's not new is the rear end, but I have at least changed the fluids back there. So the drivetrain itself is pretty much all new. So yeah, I'm going to be taking this on a trip from my hometown, which is Columbus, Ohio. We're going down to Bowling Green, which is about 330 miles. Day 2 is from Bowling Green to Nashville. Day 3 is from Nashville to Louisville. Day 4 is actually back up into my hometown area again. National Trail Raceways is out in Hebron, Ohio, which is about 45 minutes to the east of here, I believe. And then the last day is Indianapolis. So that's the 5 days. I think I ran all the numbers. It was about 1,500 miles. So I'm going to be doubling the miles that I've got on this. So it's going to be a test to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And I kind of wanted to take you along in case you've never been on a power tour, or in case you have been in the past but you can't go this year. So yeah, let's get to it. Anyway, I've done a bunch to get ready for it. Changed the oil yesterday. Checked all the fluids, had to top off the power steering a little bit, make sure I had plenty of coolant, and checked the transmission. Didn't have to add a drop, still very pink and fresh. So I think we are ready to go. In fact, the only thing I did not do was I want to re-oil this filter. Okay, so I've never actually done the power tour before. This is my first time. One of the big reasons why I wanted to do it was because it is coming through Columbus, and that's kind of cool because I don't have to drive 600 miles all the way down to Florida or something for a starting point and then run the route and then try to drive all the way home. So it's basically in my backyard, which is kind of cool. But this is my first time, so should be exciting. Of course, I packed like crazy, but I did manage to get almost everything except for the chair, and I'm gonna have my gas tank in the back here just in case. But I'm packing as light as possible because I've heard everybody say beginners pack way too much, so I'm trying not to be too much of a beginner. Also, I'm not doing the trip alone. I'm actually going with my neighbor. He lives one street over, car guy too. He was actually going to take a 1953 pickup, Chevy pickup that he's been working on. But about 2 weeks ago, there was no engine, no transmission, nothing in it. It was just a shell. He was struggling really hard to get it done in time, but it did not happen. I think he was actually at the point where he was going to go get the truck aligned, and the power steering the power steering hose got torn by the serpentine belt that he had set up. He had an LS swapped in there, and it apparently tore that belt, and then something else went wrong. Oh, the transmission was not programmed correctly. It wasn't shifting at all for his LS. So he actually went with his second option, which was I believe it's a 95 or a 96 Corvette. And he's going with his dad. Okay, I'm stopping at the gas station. I think this is going to be my last chance to get ethanol-free fuel, because when I'm on the road, it's just going to be straight up unleaded that's available. And I usually only run this thing on ethanol-free, so it's going to kind of suck. But I think once I get through the entire journey and get back, it should be okay if I start going back to the ethanol. So I'm starting out 147,540.8. I think I'll check my next stop and see how much gas it takes. I put in almost 6 gallons here, so I can basically see how much I've used. I'm on full right now. Give me a good idea of how much I'm using. What year is this again?
96.
96, I was right. I was like either 95 or 96. All packed and ready to go. Okay, I gotta admit, I'm a little bit nervous. I really don't have a ton of time on this truck. Like I said, about 1,000 miles, maybe 1,200 total miles. So I don't know all of the things that are old and could break down, because I just don't know. I don't have enough experience, or I haven't replaced enough things. As far as I know, everything should be good. The only thing I'm really concerned about for the big long trip is the cooling system. It's that aftermarket aluminum radiator with the fans attached, and of course Amazon Chinese special. That's got me a little bit worried, but it has really performed very well since I've had it, since I've been running. But again, this is going to be a very, very long trip. In fact, the first leg of the trip, day 0 here, is the longest of the entire trip. It's 332 miles from Columbus to Bowling Green. So that means, you know, hey, the trial is going to be by fire right off the bat. So yeah, a little nervous, but we are on the way, and take it as it comes. Can't worry about it until it happens. Okay, big mistake actually having the vent windows open. These things are way too loud. Cruising along at about 1,500 RPM, and she's staying under 180. Knock on wood, she's a happy camper. Oil pressure's doing pretty good too, not sure if you can see it. Downtown Cincinnati. And this is the bridge that will take us into Kentucky. All right, first stop, we are in Verona, Kentucky, I believe it is. Gonna get some gas. Okay, so it looks like only 5.6 gallons, about 18 bucks. All right, so I think I may need to check my numbers, because this could be wrong, or it should be wrong. We were at 147, 540.8. We're now at 147, 651.8. So that's 111 miles. And 111 miles, let's see, 111 miles divided by 5.6 gallons is 19.8 miles per gallon. Does that seem right to you? Okay. Onward and upward, I guess. About at the halfway point, about 175 miles to go. Switched over to the air conditioning, closed the vent windows, and it's running just as cool as it was. And the amperage is just fine. Everything looks good with the AC on. So I'm doing it because it's about 78 degrees where we're driving now, and it's kind of warm out there. Pretty good time. We're actually going through Louisville, which is where we're going to be coming back through after Nashville. So I didn't think we'd be this close to Louisville, but got about 117 miles left before we get to Bowling Green. About an hour and 40 minutes, it says. Many, but finally running up on some more. Headed to the power tour, I'm pretty sure. Was a little bit below half a tank, so I figured I'd stop here just outside of Bowling Green and fill up. So that time it was 11.62.
So whether you're commuting.
All right, so I'm not sure what happened, but driving through the hills of Kentucky definitely decreased my I was running air conditioning for a little while, then shut it off when we started just going up and down hills. But those hills that we went through in Kentucky really burn it up. We also were going a little faster. We were averaging about 70 miles an hour, and I think we jumped it up to close to 80. Don't tell anyone. But my fuel mileage dropped down to 10.37 miles per gallon. So from 19 down to 10. That's pretty drastic. But I was also flat all the way from Columbus to Cincinnati. We stopped into Kentucky and then just hill after hill after hill. So yeah, it definitely got worse. All right, we made it to our Airbnb in Bowling Green. Success. Longest leg of the journey is done. The rain is actually starting to let up finally, but yeah, we made it. So cool. That's a good long trip out of the way, and seemed like things went well. All right, just had a great dinner at Smoky Bones. So that's going to do it for day 0. If you can, like, comment, subscribe, do all of that, and follow along as we get through days 1 through 5 of the Hot Rod Power Tour. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.